Alright, what's up, guys? So, this was my thought for our project. So, let's start. Let's start with the ESP32. Okay, so this is the ESP32. It'll handle pretty much all of the logic of the game, from like the when an item is found to reordering the maps. Like all of that will be handled by the ESP. Now, what it's gonna do is it's gonna download one map at a time. All right. So like let's say we just started the game and we have this like array of maps, right? So map 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 4. Okay. And we are right here. I'm not sure if the game will always start here. I'm gonna assume it won't. So I'm gonna start at like 2, let's say. So let's pretend we're at 2, right? It will download 2's map. And then we will go through it will go through the map for 2. And then after it goes through the map for 2, if it reaches a S to start, it will check the first one before it. If or it'll check actually its current index. If it's like not the first character or the first item in the array, then it will feed into the it will feed into the previous map starting at its connector room. All right. So probably it'll check its own position. Let's say it's on S, right? It'll check its own position. If it's an S and the next move is west. So west, it'll check if it's not the first item in the array, then it'll allow it. If it is the first item in the array, then it'll just say like cannot move that way or something like that. But basically, yeah. I'll handle all of this. This will all be my thing. So next, these are some basic things in the map. It's gonna assume that the first box on the top is start, meaning this box right here. Okay? So this box is start always. Now it'll also assume that 0 end of first row, so this one is connector. All right? Those are two absolutes. That way you can have like any kind of sized array. Like if you see this one is like 4, it'll connect regardless. All right, but they'll all be connected side by side. I was gonna do a diagonal, but I feel like side by side is a little easier given the short time we have. Now, ESP32, whenever it goes to a new map, it's gonna publish this. So let's say we are on map 1, and we wanna go to map 2. It'll publish ./map2.sh. And what this will do is it will override whatever current map is downloaded. All right. So how will that work? Well, let's go to the GCP. So GCP will hold the 4 maps. All right. There's gonna be one main game loop. Okay, this is gonna be its own script, basically waiting for input from the ESP, and it'll evaluate whatever input is sent to the GCP. And then let's say it does get ./map2.sh, so it'll call that script. This GCP script, this one, the game function will call the .sh for the map2. What will that do? Well, we'll go into map2, that map2 script, and what it'll send is it will send each row. Or first it will send the number of rows, okay? So in this case, the number of rows is the numbers of rows 3, or this one is 4, whatever. It'll send the number of rows and the number of columns too. Okay, so this one is 6 columns. All right, these are all 2D arrays, by the way. And then it will loop. It will have its own loop inside. I don't know how you're gonna loop it, but you're gonna send each item one by one, starting with the first character. all right, in the first row. So I'll go 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I don't know, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be handled by the ESP. Every time it publishes one item, the ESP is gonna plug that item into the 2D string array. I don't know how to make a 2D using char array. Maybe if you want, you could do like char and then a 3D array, because this is basically like a string right here. So this is the same thing as a 2D string array, but I don't know. I'll have to see what the bash syntax is like. But basically it'll send each one over like this. Okay? Now to look closer at each actual map. Each map should have an item inside each cell. And that item can be either an S, R, W, or an I. Okay? S meaning start, start function. Start blocks. R is the next room. So you can go this way, this way. What else? Oh, I messed this up. This should be red. Okay, there we go. That's the next room. Now, I stands for item, and then C is the connector, right? So, how will we differentiate what is a room, what's a wall, what's a connector? So, it's going to be S, R, I, W, or C. This is what it'll do. Each box, or each item in the 2D array will be formatted like this. So, let's say we have, pretend this is like this spot right here. It should have the first character and then a space or an underscore. I'm going to skip over this, and then I'm going to start from this and keep going and read in this whole string and print it to the LCD. So it'll be this first character. If it's an R, I'm going to keep looking for the description. If it's an S, same thing, I'm going to look for the description. If it's a C, whatever. But if it's a W or an I, for W, I'm going to print like cannot move that way. And if it's an I, I'm going to print that the game has been won. And it's going to loop back to the beginning. All right. So that is basically how I'm thinking of this game. If you have any concerns or any issues that you think might happen, like I said, I'll take care of this. I might ask somebody to do the sockets for me though, because I don't really know how to do sockets with buttons and stuff. But yeah. So essentially that's what it's gonna do. I don't need the sockets because I'm pretty sure the ESP32 has to handle all the logic. So I don't know what the point of sockets are. If you can just detect if the button has been pressed through the client.loop or like a loop function. I don't know, but essentially this is the structure of the whole thing. I will send like a screenshot of this. All right.